Hey warrior, can I take a wild guess? Lately, life's been weighing on you, hasn't it? Maybe your mind won't stop racing at night. You lie there in bed, staring at the ceiling, going over every mistake, every what if, every little thing that could possibly go wrong. You tell yourself to stop. You try to breathe. You even close your eyes tight, hoping it will vanish, but that heavy, gnawing sensation in your chest, that knot in your gut, just won't let go. The stress, the uncertainty, the fear, it lingers. During the day, you put on a smile. You laugh. You nod. You act fine. But deep inside, there's a quiet war raging. A battle no one else sees. And guess what? You are far from alone in this struggle. Honestly, most of us carry burdens far heavier than we ever show. We worry about money, about relationships, about whether we're enough. We obsess over the future and fret about what others think of us. We try to plan every detail, control every outcome, but somehow, it never feels like it's enough. Sound familiar? So, what do we do when life feels like it's slipping through our fingers? Here's the twist. You might not expect the answer to be modern, fancy, or technological. It's not hiding in the latest app, and it's not solely waiting for a therapist's office appointment, though both can help. No. The real answer comes from wisdom that's been standing the test of time for over 2,000 years. I'm talking about Stoicism, a philosophy practiced by Roman emperors, soldiers, slaves, and scholars alike. And here's the amazing part: it still works today. Because back then, just like now, life was unpredictable. Wars erupted, betrayals stung, illness struck, hearts broke, and yet, they survived, thrived, and even found peace. How? They couldn't control the chaos around them, but they could control how they responded to it. That simple, profound shift made all the difference. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. In this video, you're going to discover 10 Stoic habits, practical, timeless, and surprisingly simple, that can help you stop worrying, not just for a moment, not just superficially, but deeply and meaningfully. These aren't just random tips, they're mindset shifts. Ancient tools designed to help you cultivate inner peace in a world that often feels determined to test it. And don't worry, this isn't a dry lecture. You won't need a philosophy degree or a Latin dictionary. Everything we explore today is practical, straightforward, and real. Whether you're a student trying to juggle deadlines, a parent navigating chaos, an entrepreneur facing endless pressure, or simply someone trying to survive another day, you'll find something here for you. Let me share a quick personal story before we dive in. A few years ago, I was completely stuck, overwhelmed, exhausted. My life had become a constant loop of checking my phone 80 times a day. Refreshing emails, chasing validation, drowning in overthinking. I used to tell myself that worrying meant I was being responsible. But deep down, I knew the truth. I didn't trust myself. One sleepless night, while scrolling through quotes, I stumbled upon a line from Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who journaled his way through wars and pandemics. It read, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That hit me like a lightning bolt. All those years, I'd tried to control the uncontrollable, the world outside, while completely ignoring the power I had within, my own mind. And in that moment, everything changed. I realized that mastering my thoughts, my responses, my perspective, that's where real freedom lies. By the end of this video, You're going to start seeing your worries differently. You'll begin to understand that control isn't about bending the world to your will. It's about mastering yourself. And once you grasp that, you'll find the strength to face life's chaos with calm, clarity, and confidence. Now, let's move forward and uncover the first of these 8 life-changing Stoic habits, because what comes next might just change the way you think forever. I realized that trying to control the uncontrollable had been exhausting me for years. Yet I had never truly attempted to master my own mind, and that was the turning point. Slowly, things began to change. I started reading more, diving into the works of Stoic philosophers. I practiced small, intentional habits each day. Bit by bit, I rewired the way I responded to stress and uncertainty. And the best part? You don't need to change your entire life to find peace. You simply need to change the way you see your life, and that's exactly what these 8 habits are designed to help you do. We'll go through each habit step by step. Along the way, I'll share quotes from real Stoic thinkers, as well as examples of how these habits have helped not only people in ancient times but also ordinary people like you and me today. This isn't just a video, think of it as a conversation. So take a deep breath right now. You are not broken. You are not weak for feeling worry or fear. In fact, the very fact that you care shows your strength. But here's the empowering truth. You are strong enough to change the way you respond to life's challenges. And that is exactly what we're about to do together. If this resonates with you, do me a small favor. Type this in the comments. I choose peace over control. If this message speaks to you, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts along the way. I read every single comment. Now, let's explore the first life-changing habit. Habit 1. Master the art of premeditation. Let me ask you something. Have you ever spent hours worrying about something that never even happened? Of course you have. We all have. We imagine the worst. A breakup, losing a job, humiliation, illness, and suddenly, our bodies react as if it's happening right now. Our hearts race, our stomach twists, anxiety consumes our mind. The Stoics had a powerful solution: premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Seneca once said, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." At first, this might sound negative. Thinking about bad things doesn't feel uplifting. But in reality, it's not about fear, it's about preparation. By calmly imagining what could go wrong, you strip those events of their power over you. You make peace with them before they even occur. Here's how you can practice this today, before an important meeting. Pause and ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? And how would I handle it with strength and grace? Before making a major decision, ask yourself, if I lost everything, what would remain inside me? Before starting your day, ask, what might test my patience today? Who could try to provoke me? How will I respond? The key is to approach these questions like a Stoic, not as a slave to your emotions. Worry comes from the unknown, from imagining threats without preparation. But when you step into life's challenges having rehearsed them in your mind, you become unshakable. You might still feel nervous, but you won't be controlled by fear. You will have practiced dignity, self-control, and inner calm, and that makes you stronger than most people, who go through life hoping for peace but preparing for nothing. So starting today, before your next big challenge, or even at the start of your day, take 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Calmly visualize what could go wrong. Then tell yourself confidently, I am ready. This is the true power of Stoicism. not pretending that bad things won't happen, but preparing for them so they no longer control you. And my friend, this is just the beginning. In the next habit, we'll learn how to turn challenges into opportunities, building resilience that lasts far beyond the moment. Number 2. Practice the control test. Have you ever found yourself stressing over things completely out of your hands? Maybe it's the weather, other people's opinions, the past, the economy, or someone not replying to your message. We've all been there, and the more we fixate on what we can't control, the more powerless we feel. That's exactly why one of the most powerful Stoic tools exists: the dichotomy of control. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said it simply: some things are up to us, and some things are not. Those are simple words, but they hold the key to inner peace. The Stoics believed that everything in life falls into 2 categories. First, things you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, your values. Second, things you cannot control: other people, outcomes, your past, most of the future. Here's where most people go wrong. They pour 90% of their energy into the things they cannot control, and then wonder why they feel anxious, exhausted, and powerless. But a Stoic warrior redirects that energy. When a Stoic is criticized, he doesn't obsess over the words spoken, he focuses on his response. When a Stoic faces uncertainty, he doesn't try to predict the future, he prepares his mind. When a Stoic is betrayed, he doesn't drown in pain, he focuses on preserving his character. This is the essence of the control test. With every worry, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go, release it. If the answer is yes, focus solely on what you can do. Here's how to build this habit today. When your mind starts racing, pause and ask, is this in my control? If it's not, imagine dropping it like a stone into the ocean. It sinks, and it's gone. Then ask yourself, what is in my control right now? And take action. For example, someone insults you online. Can you control their words? No. Can you control whether you stoop to their level or remain composed? Yes. Another scenario. You didn't get the job you hoped for. Can you control the decision? No. Can you improve your skills and try again? Yes. When you live this way, something remarkable happens. You become mentally lean, emotionally efficient, spiritually strong. You stop wasting energy on walls and start pouring it through windows. And gradually, worry begins to fade, not because life has become easier, but because your mindset has grown stronger. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I control my actions, not the world. Number 3. Limit your inputs to protect your mind. Let's be honest. How often have you felt anxious? Not because of your own life, but because of what you saw, heard, or consumed. Perhaps it was a negative headline, a toxic friend ranting about politics, or a social media post making you feel behind. Most stress is imported. It's not yours. It's picked up from the world around you. That's why the Stoics were extremely intentional about what they allowed into their minds. Seneca advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. Today, this principle applies not only to people but to everything you consume. You cannot fill your mind with garbage and expect peace. Here's a powerful habit. Be selective about what you read, watch, and listen to. Protect your mind like a garden. Weed out the toxic. Nourish the positive. The clearer and cleaner your inputs, the calmer and stronger your mind becomes. You simply cannot fill your mind with noise, negativity, or chaos and expect peace to flourish. That's why one of the most powerful habits is learning to limit what enters your mental space. Guard your mind like a temple. Here's how it works. Unfollow social media accounts that make you feel insecure, angry, or reactive. Reduce news consumption to just 5 or 10 minutes a day. Choose sources intentionally rather than endlessly scrolling through the noise. Distance yourself from people who constantly complain, gossip, or spread fear. Curate your digital and real-life environment. Feed your mind with wisdom, strength, clarity, not chaos. This isn't about being ignorant. It's about conserving your energy for what truly matters. The Stoics compared the mind to a garden. If weeds are allowed to grow unchecked, peace will never bloom. Here's the deeper reason this works. Worry needs fuel. Starve it, and it dies. You don't need to react to every opinion. You don't need to absorb every story. You don't need to carry pain that isn't even yours. A calm mind is not a passive mind, it's a protected mind. Build a mental gate with every piece of information. Ask yourself, does this strengthen me, or does it weaken me? If it weakens you, it doesn't deserve your attention. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. But what if your reaction is always shaped by what you allow in? Control the input, control the output, control your peace. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my mind like a warrior. Number 4. Daily reflection. Train your mind like a warrior. Imagine if every night, instead of doom scrolling or drowning in stress, you took a quiet moment to ask yourself, how did I live today? This was a core habit of the Stoics. They believed one of the most powerful ways to eliminate anxiety is to review your actions daily, not to judge, but to understand. Seneca wrote, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said." Think about it. How much of our worry comes from unprocessed thoughts, emotions we ignored, or mistakes we never learned from? Instead of rushing past the day into the next, the Stoic sits down and faces it. Did I act with courage today? Did I let something outside of me control my peace? Did I say something I regret? Did I uphold my values? By reflecting each day, the Stoic doesn't just remember events, he reprograms the mind. Over time, this habit turns you into a mental warrior. You start to see patterns. What triggers you? What drains you? What lifts you? You become more aware of your reactions, more disciplined with your emotions, and more aligned with your principles. Here's how to practice this habit. Every night, take 5 to 10 minutes. Sit in silence and ask yourself, what did I do well today? What can I improve tomorrow? Don't shame yourself, just observe. Keep a journal if possible. Let it be your mirror. And if you had a bad day, that's good. Now you know where to grow. Worry multiplies when we run from our past. But when we face it with honesty and calm, it loses its power. Marcus Aurelius practiced this every night in his meditations. He didn't write for the world, he wrote to remain grounded, humble, and aligned. You can do the same. The benefit? You go to sleep with clarity, wake up with purpose, and over time, your mind stops spinning because reflection keeps you centered. And a grounded mind cannot be swept away by fear. Building on the habit of daily reflection. Once you've learned to face reality and master your mind, The next step is to learn to love your fate and live fully in the present. Habit number 5. Amor fati. Love your fate. Don't just accept it. Be honest with yourself. How much of your worry comes from resisting reality? You didn't want that relationship to end. You didn't want that opportunity to slip away. You didn't want that bad news to arrive. So what happens? You fight the truth. You replay it in your mind. You question it, wishing things were different, and gradually, that resistance turns into worry, sadness, even bitterness. The Stoics had a radical practice called amor fati, the love of fate. It's not just about accepting what happens, but learning to love it, to see every twist of fate as your path, not your punishment. Friedrich Nietzsche, deeply inspired by Stoicism, said, "My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, wanting nothing to be different. Not forward, not backward, not in all eternity." Sounds impossible, right? How can you love something painful? It doesn't mean enjoying pain. It means recognizing that pain can shape you. Saying, "This happened, I cannot change it, but I will use it." You didn't choose that breakup, but maybe it leads you to discover yourself. You didn't choose that failure, but perhaps it teaches you humility and perseverance. The Stoics saw everything, even tragedy, as fuel for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That problem is part of the path. That detour is the true direction. When you live this way, you stop clinging to illusions of how things should be and start embracing life as it is. How to practice it? Whenever something bad happens, pause, take a breath, and say, amor fati. Then ask yourself, how can this shape me? What can this teach me? How do I use this instead of letting it use me? Then move forward, strong and focused. You'll notice something remarkable. Worry turns into curiosity. Pain transforms into wisdom. And life, even at its worst, becomes meaningful. This isn't positive thinking. This is Stoic strength. A person who loves their fate, no matter how it appears, becomes untouchable. Habit number 6. Stay present. Live fully in the now. Don't let the future steal today. Most worry doesn't come from what's happening right now. It comes from what might happen later. You fear getting sick, losing your job, failing in a relationship, or something going wrong next week, next month, or next year. But right now, this very moment, you are breathing. You are alive. You are safe. This is where the Stoics offer one of the most healing habits of all: presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Think about that, not the past, not the future, just this moment. He also said, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you must, armed with the same reason that equips you today." The Stoics believed that true strength comes from fully living in the now. Here's the truth. The past is done. The future hasn't arrived. The present is the only thing you truly own. Worry hijacks your mind and convinces you to live in a time that doesn't exist. But when you train yourself to return to the moment, again and again, you reclaim your power. How to practice it? Throughout the day, keep asking yourself, where am I right now? Am I here, or lost in what ifs? When worry creeps in, return to your senses. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Hear the sounds around you. Notice your breath. Build micro moments of awareness while drinking tea, walking, or talking. Be here, not ahead, not behind. Presence isn't just a mental state. It's a spiritual weapon. When you live fully in the moment, anxiety begins to fade. You realize, right now, There is no disaster, no enemy. Right now, there is only the present, and that is enough. Stoicism isn't about pretending nothing bad will ever happen. It's about training yourself to meet every challenge when it actually arrives. Not 100 times in your imagination. The more you live in the moment, the less room worry has to grow. Let this be your daily mantra. Habit 7. Choose voluntary discomfort. Here's a paradox. One of the best ways to stop fearing the future is to face discomfort intentionally. Right now. Why? Because when you become comfortable with being uncomfortable, you no longer fear what the future might bring. Seneca, one of the wealthiest Stoics of his time, would often sleep on the floor, eat the simplest foods, and wear rough clothing on purpose. He said, "Set aside a few days during which you will be content with the scantiest and cheapest meals, with coarse and rough clothing," telling yourself, "Is this the condition I feared?" Why would a powerful man do this? Because he knew that if you can endure hardship on purpose, then unexpected hardship cannot break you. Worry comes from unfamiliar pain. But if you have trained yourself with discomfort, loss, hunger, rejection, and failure, nothing can frighten you. This is not self-punishment, it is preparation for life's storms. How to practice it? Skip a meal and feel your strength without it. Take a cold shower and remind yourself that you can handle discomfort. Say no to small indulgences to train your willpower. Wake up early, even when it's hard. Face the difficult task first. Each action proves one thing: you are stronger than your comfort zone. When you see yourself this way, worry naturally loses its power. Life will bring storms, but if you've practiced walking in the rain, you won't panic when the skies open. The deeper beauty: when you stop chasing comfort at all costs. You stop fearing discomfort entirely. That is freedom. A Stoic is not trying to create a life without problems. They are shaping a mind that can face any problem. Challenge yourself. Step outside your comfort zone. Endure a little today to live freer tomorrow. The less you fear discomfort, the less you fear life. If you're walking through the storm, comment, "I grow stronger through challenge." Habit 8. Align your life with virtue, not results. Here's a habit many overlook when trying to stop worrying. They focus on results rather than virtue. They obsess over outcomes. Will this succeed? Will people like me? What if I fail? Because results are uncertain, worry arises. The Stoics taught something deeper. Focus on being good, not just looking good. Focus on the right action, not the final outcome. Epictetus said, "Do not demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well." What does this mean? When you live by your values, honesty, courage, discipline, kindness, you have already succeeded. No matter what the world says, no matter the outcome, peace comes from living in alignment with your true self. This is why Marcus Aurelius emphasized integrity over fame or success. He wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." How to practice it? Before you act, don't ask, "Will this make me look successful?" Ask, "Is this right?" Before a big risk, don't ask, "Will I look foolish if I fail?" Ask, "Will I grow regardless of the outcome?" When worried about how others perceive you, ask, "Did I act with integrity?" If the answer is yes, you have already succeeded. You don't need to control others' opinions or the final score. You only need to control your choices. When your soul is clear and your actions guided by virtue, fear disappears, and sleep becomes peaceful. Stoics were not chasing ambition or attention, they aimed to be strong, wise, and simple humans who do what is right even when no one is watching. That is the true source of peace. Remember, worry is the thief of peace. It creeps in quietly, grows loudly, and if left unchecked, it can steal years of joy, focus, and confidence. But here's the truth the Stoics knew. You are not powerless. You may not control life's storms, but you can train your mind to remain calm amidst them. You are not here to be shaken by every fear. You are here to master yourself. Let the world spin. Let others panic and stress. You remain still, grounded, focused, calm. That is Stoicism. That is power. That is peace. Habit 9. Embrace your own mortality, building on the practices of living virtuously and voluntarily facing discomfort. The next habit asks you to confront the ultimate reality. Life is finite. Most of our worry comes from clinging to the illusion of endless time. How many times have you postponed important things, thinking, there's always tomorrow? The Stoics practiced memento mori, the remembrance of death, not to be morbid, but to clarify what truly matters. Seneca advised, prepare your mind as if you were to welcome death tomorrow. Everything else is a gift, not a given. The idea here is simple. When you recognize that your days are limited, every moment becomes precious. Arguments lose their power to dominate you. Small failures no longer frighten you. The pressures of the world shrink compared to the infinite value of the time you truly have. Death is not an enemy. It is the ultimate teacher. How to practice it? Each morning, reflect briefly. Today could be my last. How will I use it? Let this thought guide your choices. Act with honesty, kindness, and focus. Dare to take risks on what truly matters. Speak the words that need to be said. Choose meaning over triviality. As you internalize this habit, life becomes clearer and more refined. Anxiety diminishes because you recognize what is genuinely worth your attention. Time is your most precious currency, and you begin to spend it wisely. Habit 10. Master your mind through reflection. The final habit complements all the others. Presence. Living virtuously, embracing discomfort, and acknowledging mortality. It is reflection. The daily practice of examining your thoughts, actions, and intentions. Without reflection, life becomes reactive, dictated by habits, fears, or external pressures. Marcus Aurelius kept a nightly journal to review his day. Where did I act virtuously today? Where did I fail? How can I improve tomorrow? This habit is like sharpening a sword. Ignoring it will wear down even the strongest will over time. Practicing it, however, makes the mind resilient, disciplined, and clear. How to practice it? Each evening, pause and review your day. Celebrate the moments you lived according to your values. Notice when fear, worry, or laziness took control. Ask yourself, what did I manage well today? What can I improve tomorrow? Write it down if you can. Daily reflection increases awareness, reduces future anxiety, and strengthens the ability to respond wisely rather than react impulsively. Over time, reflection becomes a mirror of inner growth. You notice behavioral patterns, recognize strengths, correct weaknesses, and gradually become the person you want to be. Anxiety loses its power because you are no longer a victim of fleeting thoughts. You are the master of your own mind. By now, you've discovered 10 powerful habits to transform worry into strength, fear into clarity, and distraction into focus. From embracing the present, loving your fate, voluntarily facing discomfort, to reflecting on each day and even confronting mortality. Each habit is a tool to reclaim your mind and your life. Remember this: life will always present storms, challenges, and uncertainties, but you are not powerless. The Stoics teach us that true freedom comes not from controlling the world, but from mastering yourself. When you live with virtue, presence, courage, and reflection, no fear can shake you, no worry can dominate you, and no circumstance can steal your peace. So start today. Take ownership of your mind, honor your time, and walk through life with calm, strength, and purpose. Let each choice reflect who you want to be. Let each moment be lived fully. Let each challenge be met with courage. This is Stoic power. This is true peace, and it is yours to claim.